everyone, and welcome to part 11 of our IVF journey. So far in our IVF journey, we've gone to numerous doctors and nurses consultations. I've had a HSG scan, I've had an egg retrieval, I've had the first fresh embryo transfer followed by the 2-week wait. I've had a second transfer, which was a frozen embryo transfer, and then the 2-week wait. Both of those failed. And now we have had our third transfer, which was also a frozen 5BB embryo transfer. So let's see how the 2-week wait goes. For anyone who is new to this channel, make sure to watch parts 1 to 10 to see our journey so far, and don't forget to like and subscribe to stay a part of our journey going forwards. If you are going through IVF or ICSI or your fertility journey, or you know someone who is, let me know in the comments. I love to hear from you. And let me know how are you getting on, what stage are you at, and I will send you some baby dust. But for now, let's see how this 2-week wait unfolds. For this transfer, I am on the Clexane injections only. These are good injections because they don't bruise as badly. I'm not taking any progesterone injections because my progesterone levels were at a really good level this transfer, so fingers crossed.
Thing is fully sanitized, like pure husband wife.
Pass out by the time.
Good. Out.
Okay.
Beautiful one.
Okay. For at least the next 5 mornings, I will be having pineapple for breakfast. Quickly. Each evening I am taking the Clexane injection at 8 p.m.
4, 3, 2, 1. There's mentions in there, no?
Sure is.
Got them?
Oh.
Charlie. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yay!
Hey, big man.
Today is 4 days past frozen embryo transfer. What am I feeling? To be honest, I was hoping I might be feeling more. Overall, I feel very good. I'm not as tired as I was last time. Last time I was taking progesterone injections too, Prolactex, but my progesterone levels were really good this time, so I don't need to take them. So I think that's really helping with the tiredness. I'm only taking the Clexane injections in the evenings. Feeling a little bit tired, but totally manageable. When I sneeze, I can feel like my uterus seize up, but I don't think that's anything related to pregnancy. So yeah, I guess I was hoping to feel more at this stage, maybe. Trying to keep the hope up, really. And more injections.
3, 2, 1. Get out, you know. Relax. Come on, will you?
Fine.
What are you doing here? Thomas! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-da-dee-doo. There's only one. 3, 2, oh. Mary. 3, 2, 1.
Today is 7 days post embryo transfer, and we've decided we're gonna take a pregnancy test this morning. It's bright and early before work, and yes, I know it's still earlier than the clinic recommends for you to test, but I know a few people who have had just a small faint line at kind of like between the day 5 and day 7 post embryo transfer. So I'm just anxious to see whether there's a small line or not. I am very nervous though. If it's negative, this would be our 3rd transfer that failed, which would mean that I think I would be worried that there's something else wrong. And if it's positive, oh my God, that's such a life-changing moment. I don't know how the clinic can expect you to wait until, 10 to 14 days past transfer to test, because it is such a life-changing moment. I just think it's crazy to just say, oh no, just wait. So yeah, let's find out. On the day of the transfer, I bought this little sippy cup in the hopes that I'm bringing something new into the home, showing that I'm ready to welcome something new, hoping that the embryo transfer will be successful. So yeah, let's find out. Rather than the clinic saying, oh, don't test between 10 and 14 days, what I think should happen is education around, yes, there's a good chance it'll be a very faint line, and don't take any test result as a confirmation either way until maybe day 10 to 14. You need education rather than just being told, don't do this.
It's done.
To me, that looks like a positive, like a very faint line, which is to be expected since it's only 7 days post embryo transfer. Looking forward to see if the line develops tomorrow. What do you guys think? Do you think that's a positive? Let me know in the comments. I sent a photo on to my mom and my best friend, and they also think it looks like a faint line. I've also uploaded it to my cycle tracker app, to the community there to see if they think it's a faint line, and I uploaded a short to YouTube to see if you guys think that it is also a positive. Yes, I'm totally getting my hopes up. If this is a successful transfer, the baby will be born in May or June, so perfect time for a summer birthday party every year. Really want to go this weekend to get maybe some baby clothes or like a baby book, pregnancy book, something like that. And then I was thinking, right, if this works, we can have a Christmas baby announcement. A little bit too early for Halloween announcement, as it will be about 2 months gone then. So yeah, maybe Christmas. Look, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's see what the test is like tomorrow. And we continue with the injections. You come on.
3, 2, 1. 5.
So it is day 8 after the embryo transfer, and look at that. So what happened was, after the faint line we saw yesterday, Corey, my husband, he wanted to go out during the day and get a good pregnancy test, so the Clear Blue digital test. So he came home from work that day and he had the Clear Blue test. I wanted to wait until tomorrow morning to do the test, but he insisted that we do it straight away. So I went and I peed on a stick, And I was pretty sure it was probably going to come back negative, and I wasn't going to let that affect me. But then he was staring at the test, and yep, he said, "Oh my God, it is positive." And I didn't believe him, so I had to get up from my desk as well and have a look at it. It's so funny because obviously we are doing IVF, we want a baby, but it was a proper like, oh shit moment. Like, holy crap, like our lives are about to change. And yes, it is massive, and yes, it is what we've always wanted, but yeah, it was a big shock, and I'm sure that sounds so strange to hear, but yeah, we got a shock. The best shock, of course. It is 9 days post embryo transfer. I took a strip pregnancy test this morning, and the first one came back with a small line, but I also did a second one straight away after that, and it came back negative with no line at all. So I'm a little bit worried about that. So I did a third strip test at around 11 a.m. this morning, and it also came back completely negative. Now I'm worried that it might be a chemical pregnancy, but I don't want to get too caught up on it. Let's just test again tomorrow morning and see what happens.
This is fly fishing heaven right here.
We did another Clear Blue digital test today, and it came back negative.
So much love. Me now.
And we're continuing with the
3,
injections.
2, 1. Proper job.
It's 10 days past embryo transfer, and I'm up bright and early to take another Clear Blue digital pregnancy test. Pregnant. We've been trying for a baby for 8 years. We've spent this whole last year doing IVF with 2 failed transfers. And this is the first time we've ever had a pregnant test result. There is so much to do. We have to clear out the whole house. I think I'll wait to buy cots and prams and those things until the second trimester, and also wait to tell work then. A little May baby, which means maternity leave in the summer, which is nice. I'm going to look at Vinted for maternity clothes. I think eBay or Done Deal for secondhand cots and prams, because why not get them secondhand as long as they're in good condition. I'll have to work out a budget for maternity leave and figure out how much I need to save now before I go on maternity leave. And the injections continue.
3, 2, 1.
It is 11 days post-transfer. I did 2 clear blue tests this morning, not the digital type, but the ones with the lines, and they both came back negative. There isn't even a faint line on them. I'm going to wait for Corey to wake up to see what he thinks, if we should maybe go and buy some more tests. Yeah, it's scary. It could be a chemical pregnancy. I was talking to ChatGPT just to see what its thoughts were, and it recommended that the beta blood test will give us the most accurate picture. I have that on Wednesday and today is Sunday, so tomorrow is the day that we can test according to the clinic, so I don't know. I have been having some symptoms that could potentially be linked to early pregnancy. My stomach is going absolutely mad with noises. I also don't have the same appetite as I used to. Just don't feel like eating a lot. One of the hard parts of IVF, especially when you've had failed transfers, is having to face questions like, what do we do? What do we want to do as a couple if, this IVF doesn't work, if none of the IVF works, and do we want to consider a sperm donor, adoption, have a life without kids? So when we received the positive pregnancy test, all of these thoughts flooded as to, okay, it was such a relief. Like, one day we have the potential to become grandparents, bring our kids to their first day of school, seeing them graduate from college, their wedding day, for our kids to have their own kids. And now we are now facing a negative pregnancy test again. All hope is not gone yet. Have to remember that. But it is such a blow.
He hasn't had these options before.
Best decision for the club and to make the decision that helped us winning the games. So the players who were starting today were
3, 2, 1.
It's the 1st of September and it's the day that we can officially test according to the clinic, so let's see what happens. I'm so nervous.
Hello, go away, you go. In the walkies.
Yeah, so another negative pregnancy test. My hope is now gone. And now it's Monday morning, so straight back into a busy day of work. Not even time to process it or anything. It's devastating.
2, 1. Alright, boy.
See, there's way less bruising.
3, 2, 1.
It is time for my beta blood test. Yeah, so obviously the pregnancy tests are now negative, so I really just want to go and tell the nurses what's going on. I have a few questions, and I reckon that I'll probably have a phone call with the doctor either later today or someday this week to get some answers and decide on what to do next and what's best. But yeah, feeling pretty low. I am out of the blood test now, just finished it. So I should find out the results after 2 p.m. today. The nurse said that if the HCG level was at 0, we could probably, we should be able to book in a consultation with the doctor at his earliest availability. I know we're running tight for time now. So it's if the HCG is not at 0, we might have to wait for maybe 3-4 weeks for a consultation with the doctor. So it is looking like we won't be able to do another transfer in September, which is sad. I find the waiting so hard. I find the 2-week wait okay because at least there's hope then, but I find like having to wait a month for another transfer, it's just, that kills me. Just waiting, watching our life slip away, that's what it feels like. The beta blood test came back close to negative. My HCG was at 1.4, and anything under 5 is considered a negative. So it's in line with a chemical pregnancy. Those positive pregnancy tests were the first positive tests that we've had in our almost 8 years of trying. So it meant so much. We were making all of these plans for our future baby, and now all hope is gone. Yeah, so it's been a difficult few days. It's been very stressful. I mean, it's so sad. We came so close, but apparently there are some positives to draw from this experience. So let's focus on the positives. Getting the positive pregnancy test means that the embryo did implant, which means that the communication between the embryo and my body, my uterus, there is a connection there, and it works on some level. So there's more hope for us to have a successful pregnancy in the future. The majority of chemical pregnancies happens because there is some sort of issue with the embryo, like a genetic or chromosomal issue. Now, there are also a few other issues that could be happening, like a hormonal issue or something wrong with my uterine lining. I've sent the doctor on a load of questions, so I'm hoping to hear back from them in the next few days and make a plan as to what we do next. So yeah, living in limbo now for the next few days, hoping to do another transfer ASAP. But in reality, I don't want to push it too soon if we could potentially do other testing or, improve my vitamin D levels a bit since they were a bit low. And perhaps that would improve the chances of the embryo being successful. I really want to be pregnant by Christmas. I've put this mental load on myself. We're now in September, early September. Is it going to happen? Oh, please let it happen. I was talking to one of the nurses and she said that I would qualify for a free therapy session with them. I don't think it's needed right now. I just really want to focus on doing another transfer as soon as possible and focus on the positives. I'm going to start now. Let's see what we can do to make this next one better. I'm going to focus on that. So we have now had 3 failed embryo transfers, and the third one resulted in a chemical pregnancy. Stay tuned to see what happens next. I will let you know what the doctor says and the questions I'm asking ahead of the next set of plans for my fertility journey. Please, please, please let the next one be a success. Chemical pregnancies are too normal and you don't hear enough about them. Apparently something like 50% of women will experience a chemical pregnancy at least once in their lifetime. And a lot of women haven't even heard about them. So let me know if you've had a chemical pregnancy and what happened afterwards. I'd love to know what happens next. This whole journey is recorded in real time, so I don't know what the results are going to be. If you want to stay part of this journey, please hit the subscribe button and stay tuned to see what happens next.